Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Turbo Garage Tips. In today's video, we're talking about a budget way to control the heat inside your car. A few years back, I owned a 1987 Buick Grand National. Really awesome car, and I did a variety of modifications just to make it overall more fun. One downside was some extra heat that was entering the cabin. This was due mainly to a larger downpipe and a different exhaust setup. The larger downpipe came right down the firewall on the passenger side, and then the exhaust ran directly under the floorboard on the passenger side. So unfortunately, any passenger that I would have with me would like roast, because this exhaust running right under their legs would kind of cook them over time. So I wanted to solve this problem quickly, easily, and without spending much money. So I looked around a bit and did some research, and I found something kind of cool. Here, I'll show it to you. This is Reflectix. I found this at my local home improvement store, and it's actually made for home and commercial construction. It's an insulation that's used typically in walls, in attics, garage doors, anywhere you want to keep heat out. And you can see it's fairly thin, and inside there it has 7 layers, including these foil outer layers, and then a bubble foam cell internal layer. It's like really strong bubble wrap with foil on either side. Even though it's an insulation, there's no fiberglass or anything to irritate your skin, so it's easy to work with and handle, and it's cheap. So since it was cheap and easy to work with, I figured it would be something good to test out on my old Grand National to control the heat. I cut out some pieces and put it underneath the carpet on just my passenger side. So I didn't even do a great job of necessarily installing it. I just cut some pieces that were the right size, slid it under the carpet, and then put the carpet back in place. Now you can go really overboard. You can lay out large pieces underneath your carpet in the entire interior of the car, and then use some of this foil tape to tape it down and close up any seams and things like that. So while I don't have any hard before and after data points to give you, I can just tell you how it went for me personally. So in the Grand National, like I said, I'd be driving around for maybe 15-20 minutes to an hour, and it would get just red hot over there. I mean, the heat would just be radiating up through the floor. I had the regular carpet and insulation in there that came from the factory, and it was doing nothing. So when I put down the Reflectix, I just put down one layer, and like I said, I didn't do a great job. I didn't even seal up the seams or anything. I just sort of laid it under there to see what would happen. And it was a night and day difference. It was so impressive given the small budget. I mean, I think a roll of this, like I said, is around $20, and I just used a small portion. I could have bought way less than this giant roll. I think the best testimonial that I could give is my wife, who runs hot to begin with, was just dying in the car before I added the Reflectix. After I added it, I didn't say anything to her. We just went for another ride, and she was kind of dreading it. She was like, "What did you do to the car? It's actually cool and comfortable over here." Just that thin layer of Reflectix made that big of a difference in the car. I was very skeptical, but was amazed at the results. Now you could use this in any part of your vehicle. You could use it in the trunk, front seat, back seat. I mean, if you could use it anywhere that you have a heat problem, and it'll actually knock down a little noise too. So it's a fairly budget-friendly way to do that as well. Okay, so that's today's Turbo Garage tip. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. I've enjoyed seeing all of your suggestions that you've been giving me for future videos. Love all those ideas. Please keep them coming. And with that said, thanks again, folks. We'll see you next time.